Had to get the Ireland game out of the way before I did a review of Scotland versus Italy, and still absolutely buzzing. I was going to do one of Scotland after the game, but I had to stick around, see what the pundits thought before that. Whew, I got to catch my breath. That was so exciting. I I want to give a massive shout out to Shawnee K, who was looking for my predictions for the game. I should be looking to you. You were bang on. You said Scotland by 12, and that's exactly what happened. Spoiler alert, but I'm sure you all have watched it by this stage. Um, and you were closer than I was with the England one, though I felt like that last try for Tommy Freeman should have been disallowed, and Ireland would have won by 12, but fair play, you got closer. The French one, I was closer, but that was kind of a hard one to call. It was a cricket score anyway. I think we all agreed on that. Whew. So let's review Scotland against Italy, and I'm doing them in a weird order, but I had to get the Ireland one out first. And I think the Ireland one was a lot more exciting than the Italian Scotland game. But I mean, that game was good. Italy, fair play to them, they actually put it up to Scotland. I'm a lot less nervous facing Scotland now because I was not overly impressed with them. I'm just going to say it. Finn Russell was very poor. He says that he's the greatest fly half that ever lived. He calls himself the Messi of rugby. A self-appointed nickname. I think he's way too arrogant for what he delivers on the pitch, and it works against him. I counted six handling errors that he made, and he also passed the ball into Ignacio Brex's hands. And the funny thing is, I knew he was going to do it because he's so predictable. You know he's just going to try it. He's going to shift the blame onto somebody else. He always does it every time. He got tackled in the first half, went to ground, and flung the ball directly into touch, way past Darcy Graham, who was nowhere near. Like it was really bad. He flung a pass. Now, I mean, they had a free play on this one, but they talk about his brilliant passing. Hugh Jones, who was exceptional, the opposite, brilliant player. Hugh Jones was running onto it and he flung it, pinged it at his shoulder. Terrible pass. Um, Missed two kicks, one which was very easy, one which was out on the touchline. But in fairness, I'm short on sympathy when you call yourself the Messi of rugby and have as much arrogance as he does. Like, unbelievable. How you can be that cocky when you play like that is absolutely beyond me. Um, I felt like he was a weakness for Scotland, and I feel like if we can rattle him and really shut him up, I would love that. I'd really love if we could just put him on his arse and shut him up. Can you tell I don't like him? I'm not his biggest fan. I just think Rory Darge epitomises what's good about rugby, while Finn Russell is just so arrogant. Man the match, Hugh Jones, deservedly so. He was absolutely exceptional and he got a hat trick, so fair play. He was very good. Van der Merwe had some good moments, but not his best performance. I've seen him play a lot better. Darcy Graham had some moments of brilliance as Italy tired. He showed how dangerous he can be, but again, not his best performance either. Blair Kinghorn, you could say the same. I was expecting a lot more from the Scotland back three, but when they did turn it on, they were good. Italy missed an awful lot of tackles. They also made an awful lot, and I have to say the standout performer for Italy, there's two of them that I want to give a mention to. Ignacio Brex was phenomenal. He had a great game. He actually outshone Menoncello, who I thought was quiet for how good he normally is. He's such a good player. But I thought the better of the two centres was Brex by a mile. Massive hit in midfield, brilliant tackle. He absolutely smashed them. I think it was Hugh Jones or Stafford McDowell, one of the two centres for Scotland. Um, he was brilliant. And Tommaso Allan was absolutely outstanding. Brilliant kicking. Like, he stepped up in an enormous way. I think he's got Scottish roots as well. They had him playing at fullback at 15. And that kind of gives Paolo Garbisi more free reign to do what he wants to do. I think it's a good idea. France do it with Entamac, who will be banned now, I imagine. Hopefully for our game. Not that it'll matter for France because they're that good, but Toma Ramos can play fly half. He kicks exceptionally well. Him and Tommaso Allan showed that you can have somebody else kicking that isn't your fly half, and the pressure's kind of off, because everybody's like, oh, the fly half kicks, and if you don't have that, you're kind of like, oh, pressure's off me. I have more free reign to do what I want. And you see France doing it like they've always had a fullback like Melvin Jaminet, who, as I say, will be out for a while, but is a phenomenal player all the same. Um, France tend to have gone with scrum halves kicking, like you have Morgan Parra and Dimitri Ashvili being one of the best, Jean-Marc Dusan as well. Big fella, like massive for a scrum half. But for me, the standout performers for Scotland were not Finn Russell, not by a mile. Best performers, I think, Hugh Jones won that game for Scotland, and Rory Darge with some brilliant turnovers. Jamie Ritchie, quiet by his standards. Matt Fagerson, a little bit, but not much. Sander Fagerson did alright, but I actually give credit to the Italian front row who were very good. Simone Ferrari, Nicotera, and Danilo Fischetti, very good. I thought the back row let Italy down. I thought Sebastian Negri had a very poor game, who was normally good. Sander Ferguson actually boshed Michele Lamaro, which I thought was impressive. Lorenzo Canone was good. You see a little one there where Canone made a massive hit on Russell. Again, another drop ball from him. He was close to the line. Canone came in over the top and knocked him to the ground, got up and just shoved his head into the ground. And normally I'm not necessarily the biggest fan, but I'm willing to make an exception in Finn Russell's case because he did the same thing to Owen Farrell, and when he's on the up, he's well able to give it and give all the big talk and put players off. So screw him. I'm with Lorenzo on this one. I thought Canone was good, but the other two let them down. I think Lamaro didn't do an awful lot, and Negri made a lot of mistakes. He diving over the ruck, slapping the ball out of Ben White's hands when he really should have just stayed on his feet. Italy were the architects of their own downfall at times. In terms of Scotland, Russell, I'm yet to see the hype. Everybody keeps telling me that's his jersey all day. I thought, if I'm being perfectly honest, I thought Crowley off the bench was much better. I thought Marcus Smith was much better. Tommaso Allan was really good. Ramos, now I'm talking about line selections, of course, so that's fair. Prendergast even, got hit hard in the tackles, missed 2 conversions, which he really, he should have gotten one of them anyway. If you're going to be picky, and we're being picky with Finn Russell, and they're certainly praising Prendergast as the next best thing, so, we got to have high standards. And he missed a simple kick, which was for Gibson Park's try. Thought he should have gotten that, but he kicked a brilliant one now from the penalty spot, which I thought was very good. He stepped up to the mark there. And if you're given a big title and everybody's singing your praise, you got to deliver. There's no two ways about it. Scotland, I am a lot less nervous about facing. I think they're very vulnerable. I think they're there for the taking if we want it. Italy showed them up in the scrum, and that's an area where I thought Scotland would be alright in. Italy were better. I think we could win a few scrums against them. The England pack is certainly beefier and stronger than the Scottish pack. We should look to win some scrum penalties against them. Thomas Clarkson, very impressed with him. He did brilliantly off the bench. Baleam, I hope the injury's not too bad, but if it is, you'd wonder who would come in. I'm not really sure about that. I would have brought John Ryan in, but what do I know, hey? If Healy can still get on the pitch, why can't John Ryan? I said it in the previous video, but Conor Murray and Cian Healy's stats were literally NA, non-applicable, because they weren't on the pitch enough time. Now, in a scrum half, you're kind of like, okay, Gibson Park is so good, you're supposed to be fitter. But Murray closes the game out, though we didn't do a very good job, I have to say, in that one. We should have never let them in for a third try. That game should have finished 25-15. Even letting Curry in for that try was stupid. That was very bad game management. So I am nervous about that. Finishing strongly and starting strongly. We started poorly. We didn't finish very well either. So if I'm going to be critical, I have to say that. But I am so happy with the win that I'm also to hell with it. But yeah, that's for sure where I'd be looking at. For Scotland, Darge, very good at the breakdown, tested out. Italy got a few good jackals, got a try as well, so no, he was good, especially for a forward getting a try. Fair play, credit where it's due. Hugh Jones, exceptional, really good player, and Tui Palatu, who Jones was phenomenal, brilliant, very good. But I do think Scotland are there for the taking. We just have to show up. You know, we have to want it, because if we were good enough to beat that England team, that Scotland team will crumble. They let Italy into that game very easily, and with penalties as well. So we're gonna have to kick our penalties. So that there's a big shout now for Jack Crowley starting at 10, because Prendergast missed a few easy kicks. He only got 1 out of 3 kicks. And, we have to set high standards. He's a young fella, but he's been given so much praise, and when you're given that much praise, and especially, and I know a few Munster fans said it, the Leinster pundits, which I have to agree with them. They keep saying Prendergast at 10, Crowley at 12. I think Crowley proved he has to start. He was much better than Prendergast off the bench. And as I say, credit to Prendergast, because balls of steel, that was a tough occasion. But they kept talking about Crowley's kicking success not being as good as Prendergast's. Munster haven't been on the front foot in the same way that Leinster are. Leinster score a lot more tries closer to the posts, which makes it much easier for Prendergast, because Leinster have much more dominance than Munster would have, meaning Crowley doesn't get the same go forward. Scotland are beatable, for sure. For all the shite that they talk, they didn't deliver nearly enough. They were vulnerable there. They were there for the taking. But our tackling will need to be good. Our kicking, Lowe listened to me and he got the ball off the field one time when it was out on the full. I was like, you did what I told you, but no, but his kicking was much better. And you know what I'm happy to see? We got 4 tries, got the bonus point. I was only thinking, I think Dan Sheehan has a back. 2 tries by 2 backs and 2 forwards. I think it shows you where the dominance comes from, because both the try scorers in the back line were New Zealand players, New Zealand born, Bundyaki and Gibson Park, and that was made the first try by James Lowe. Brilliant carry on the left wing. So I think our back line needs a bit more, but I'm kind of happy that it was 2-2. England's tries, 2 of them were from backs, 1 of them was from a forward. France scored 7 tries against Wales. 5 of them were by backs, 2 of them were by forwards. So that's where we need to shore it up. Great return for Dan Sheehan. Look, Scotland are there for the taking, but they will give us penalties. They gave Tommaso Allan loads of opportunities, which he took brilliantly. He did not miss a kick. He was outstanding. Some aqua purificada. So, look, very impressive from Ireland, but we will need to take our points. We only beat England by 5. We've got to remember that. We could have beaten them by 9. 2 conversions missed. It's kind of unacceptable at this level, because even though we beat England with a bonus point, we let them get the losing bonus point. And that could be crucial at crunch time. But I fancy us now to go on. That was such a big performance. That led the way. Very happy. I think we have the upper hand in the pack. It's the back line I'm worried about for Scotland, because when they fire, they are good. Hugh Jones, Ollie Lawrence got so much gain line very easily as well that he should have never gotten. Hugh Jones is a better player than Ollie Lawrence, so if he gets through, and if Russell can find form and hit him, then. But I'd be looking at Hugh Jones, because he is such a good player. He's brilliant. Him and Rory Darge, 2 best Scottish performers by a country mile. Felt like Van der Merwe went quiet. He always looks like he's furious with people when they tackle him. He's disgusted, isn't he? It's like, how dare you tackle me, bro? Graham looks dangerous when he gets into space. Scotland's wingers are very good, and then Kinghorn's an exceptional fullback. Haven't watched season 2 yet of Full Contact. I watched a few minutes. Sorry, did I even get a few minutes? Marcus Smith, Chandler Cunningham South, and Freddie Stewart. What's up, my G? Oh, fuck off. I couldn't stomach it, So the G-Wagon, Wagwan, all privately educated probably, and all this Wagwan, Szechuan Palace and all this crap. The G-Wagon, just chilling, bro. Oh. My brother told me there's meant to be an even cringier scene with Freddie Stewart. I was like, if it gets any cringier than that, I'm done, Chandler Cunningham South going, you're in the hood now, bro. Oh. My God. I couldn't stand that shit. Then you see Peter O'Mahony, lovely, tending to his garden. We're a lot more humble in Ireland, aren't we? You wouldn't get away with that shit in Ireland. You'd be called a prick and a wanker. England definitely are allowed, have a bit more swagger about them. I feel like we need to actually take some of that confidence, but we stepped up big time. Scotland will be dangerous in the back line. I've said it before. Scotland are much better in the back line than in the pack. I wouldn't be too concerned about that, although they have good jumpers. Gilchrist and Johnny Gray are big fellas, so I would say if Scotland are going to try and disrupt us, it'll be in the jump. England look to physically bully us. I don't think Scotland have the ability to do that, but I think they've got a great jackler in Rory Darge. I thought he was a very good choice to make captain because he's a good leader. I'm glad they didn't make Russell captain. Darge has a great head on his shoulders, great open side, which I played myself many moons ago until I put on all this timber and was permanently put in the second row or six as a bulky type and even tight head prop. Oh, my neck shrank like that. But yeah, great first round. People were saying it's sad to see Wales get hammered by so many points, and look, it is. Yeah, it is for sure. But I mean, Wales and Scotland, where when they were on top of us, they like to rub it in. So if we get on top, let's rub it into them as well. All within, all friendly. As I say, if I meet any fans from any background, I'll have a laugh and a point with them and whatever, no doubt about it. And it's all in good spirits. Just get so riled up though. And if people are slagging off a team and putting them down, expect it back. In friendly ways. We're not going to start a fight over it, but shout out to the Ireland fans, FYI, who were phenomenal, and we're going to need that in Murrayfield because Scotland are going to be up for it, and we're going to be up for it. Let's not always focus on the other team. Let's focus on us. I think we can win that game. Scotland's discipline let them down, and it could have cost them the game. Put pressure on Russell. He will throw a stupid pass. You shut him down, you shut Scotland down. And that is Finito Mussolini in honour of the Italians. Well, they probably won't like me mentioning him, but well done to Italy though. Good performance from them. Um, they definitely will fancy their chances of. I think they could even get a bonus point win against Wales. I've called it. Menoncello when he got going was very good, but it took him a while. Simone Gesse, very very strong, wasn't he? I remember like talking to my mum and my brother when we were watching the game and going, "This lad, hearing big things. He's got the most clean breaks in the competition." And I showed you, strong, shrugging off forwards. Not a very big fella, but he shrugged them off. Oh, Monty Ioane. I wanted him to get more ball. I feel like he didn't do as much as he could have done. He disappointed me. Ange Capuzzo as well. Two brilliant players, but they didn't do enough. They are exceptional when they're in form. They just didn't do enough for me. I need to see them step up because they are such good players. Tommaso Allan, standout performer, brilliant game. Um, Two top performers from here in the back line for Italy, Ignacio Brex and Tommaso Allan, were brilliant. Scotland, if I had to pick two, Rory Darge and Hugh Jones. And on that note, guys, we'll leave it there. See you in the next one. I'm going to do a review as well, some team of the week. It's so exciting, and that'll be coming out soon. Might even do it now actually while I'm in the mood. See you in the next one. Slong of all, guys.